Hello, my name is T. Adeola, and I'm a father. That's me with the babies. And for the next few minutes, we'll say hi to some elephants in the room. A study from Yale University proved that Black males hit racial bias in preschool. Per- They tried to put me on Ritalin. School was a nightmare, but I came through that to graduate from college and do digital marketing for some big names, including P&G. But most of my peers did not, which birthed STEM Whisperers, which is a MarTech-focused college and career readiness STEM program designed to end the school to prison pipeline. I know that's a lot. Let me unpack it. The school to prison pipeline is a set of practices and policies that push at-risk kids in failing schools out of the class and directly into prison. This is big business. The state of Ohio spends over 200 grand per kid, but it's a bigger problem for society. Ex-cons have sky-high unemployment and recidivism. So in most cases, the pipeline removes these kids from the economy permanently, which ain't smart because MarTech is in demand. Now, marketing technology, or MarTech, is tech where the business model is marketing based. So Facebook ads, Google ads, the recommendations on Amazon, all MarTech. I have an example of a Facebook ad here. And companies can't find pros fast enough. Keyword being professional. So not IG famous, but an actual career. We kill both birds with the same stone. Get them out of the school to prison pipeline and into MarTech. The other pachyderm in the room, plague has created a gap by accelerating distance learning, but also exacerbating existing inequities. And this gap is more pronounced in math. But our smart pop-up depot is designed to close this gap quickly, because the group dynamic doesn't break all the way down online, but it hit different and something is missing. And group instruction is essential in math, but our smart pop-up depot technology puts back what's missing. So the top 50 US school districts have a combined student population of about 7.2 million. Assuming about 15% need intervention, that's an addressable audience of just over a million. At a 1% conversion rate, because most decision makers have never heard of MarTech, we're still enrolled not quite 11,000 kids across 90 or so schools. At an average price of $50,000 per school, that's income of 4.5 mil. But college grads are a net positive to society, as they contribute more in taxes than they receive in benefits and are 5 times less likely to go to jail. So when we talk about ending the pipeline, one of the best things you can do is college. And we are targeting failing schools with high dropout and incarceration rates, more than 90 of those. Our current status is that we have incorporated and are refining our curriculum, hired a coach to show us the business, and are planning branding events called Money Melodies Pitch to the Beat. Our team consists of myself, pro marketing technologist with over a decade of experience, Marie Vera, who has a master's of global health and brings a holistic view to solving social ills, and Dr. Amy Magnus, who is our executive director of STEM curriculum. Our ask is that by making us a winner, you bring us closer to having those youth workshops. And we also need community partners we can do workshops for, as well as referrals to principals, judges, and juvenile detention center directors. And last but not least, corporate partners to hire our grads. So please visit us at stemwhisperers.com and follow us on social channels at STEM Whisperers, and help be a part of the solution, where at STEM Whisperers, we sprout scholars from statistics to significance. I got like 5 seconds. Yeah, Smart Pop-Up Depot. Do it for the kids, y'all. Yeah.
Do it for the kids. There you go. That was a good walk off.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I wanted to know, with your curriculum, have you done any case studies or any small trials?
So our curriculum is still in development, and we are on pace to have the curriculum done by January 2021. We have been in talks with some community partners. Donna McCoy she works for Dayton Children's, but she's placed at Kaiser Elementary, and we're talking about providing some programming for their 4th through 6th graders once the curriculum is developed. But we are still in the development phase, and we should be ready to go by January.
As far as your curriculum, do you have any research where any of the components have been successful with other students?
Absolutely. So the Smart Pop-Up Depot is built off of research or technology from the Air Force. Our curriculum designer, Dr. Amy Magnus, her specialty is in human computer teaming, and she's taught at AFIT, the Air Force Institute of Technology, and she specializes in math. So with the smaller kids specifically, is kind of her sweet spot, 0 to 12 years. And I'm bringing the subject matter expertise on top of being MarTech specific. So I published a book back in 2016, which is the base of the curriculum. A lot of case studies on that. And so between those two things, the foundation is very solid, absolutely.
Thank you for that. When you are planning to introduce this to market, do you have a point of entry?
We do. So our customer is a principal of a failing school. And we have two contacts. The first is Dr. Robert Somers, who's the CEO of CFED Solutions. He's actually out of Middletown, Ohio. Brian Hunter actually connected me with him, so shout out to my fellow presenter. And he's a former Secretary of Education for both Ohio and Oklahoma. And CFED Solutions, they operate in 6 states, I believe. Don't ask me which 6 states, but it's like Ohio, Michigan, and there's 6 of them. So that's him. So that's Dr. Robert Somers. He said once we have the curriculum developed and a price point, he's happy to introduce us to his client base. We also have connections with Mr. Lawrence Love out of Atlanta, Georgia, who is a professional biz dev in the education space. And he has connections with the larger school districts like your Chicago Unified, your San Diego. He's actually retired, but I want to say he was in that space for like 25 years. So we have both of those people lined up and ready to go, as well as, like I said, Dr. Amy Magnus. She was with the Air Force for like 20 some years. And so they don't have but once we have the data from that Smart Pop-Up Depot technology that we're built on top of, that builds into their workforce development as well, because the Air Force, all the armed forces, but the Air Force specifically, has a very large civilian workforce, and they have the same workforce development needs as every other sector. So, yeah.
Absolutely. One last question. When you're talking about failed schools and principals, will this be, as far as funding, will that come from that school? Will that come from that school district?
Yeah, so yes, that's the answer to the question. So the principals are the primary decision makers, and they are the ones who are going to decide to bring us in. And so it's primarily going to be a principal who's looking to turn his school around.
Okay. Thank you so much. Continued success.
Thank you. Good. Does everyone
Go ahead,
feel
John.
like they've got questions out? Is there any pressing last question? Excellent. Excellent. So if you want to meet me back in the other breakout room, and we will have deliberation there. So I will see you in just a second.